up one come all, those short, those tall. There may be some clowning around, but you'll get an earful all in all. No need for waivers, no need for saviors. Don't be frightened, do not hide. Enter now and enjoy the ride. So step right up, those far and near. The attraction is set. It's Ear for Fear.
Hi, welcome to the Ear for Fear podcast. This is the podcast that talks about scary movies or movies trying to be scary. I'm Rick, and I have Scott back.
Hey.
What's going on, man?
That's all I have.
Hey, long time no see. Just kidding. We just recorded Send Help. So make sure you listen. You check that episode if you haven't yet.
And after the man versus nature, now we have man versus beast.
Yeah.
Subgenre.
That was unintentional. Like I didn't think about that, but yeah. Because I hadn't seen. Okay, I had heard some pretty good things about Primate, and I hadn't seen it, and it was definitely on my radar. I was actually thinking, I got to watch that here soon, and so I think I said, hey, let's do Primate.
Yeah, I heard some good things about it too.
Yeah,
it's been something that I've been wanting to do because I've been wanting to do like sometimes I do themed movie months where I'll pick a genre or like a director or something and just watch just the whole month, just movies. It's kind of like during October you watch Halloween movies or Christmas movies, but I'll do like an action movie, July, or I was thinking of doing like a monkey month and doing all the all the movies where apes attack people or
Congo. Trying to think some of the
Monkey
other ones.
Shines.
Oh, Monkey Shines, yeah. Or the monkey. Oh no, that's not really. I mean, you could maybe argue, but it's not really. It's a toy monkey.
Yeah, right.
So it's not like a real monkey.
Or just other, man versus beast movies, Man's Best Friend, Cujo. Different things.
Yeah.
The Edge, bears.
Oh God, I mean, there's a few bear killer movies.
Oh yeah.
I still haven't seen that Cocaine Bear. I keep hearing good things about it. Did you watch that?
No.
People tell me that's good. I'm like, it's really good. Like, really? And they're like, yeah. And I've heard this from several people, and I have not watched it. Maybe at some point.
I feel like the bar for horror movies and action movies like that or things like that is, it's not that it's low, but it's like what you're going to get, and it's in the title. So if you want to go to a movie where a bear on cocaine murders people, well, that's what you're going to get, and it's kind of similar to this movie,
Primate,
which is this movie is the answer to the question, what if Curious George got rabies?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's no more and no less.
Pretty much. Let's do this.
911, what's your emergency?
Here, just send the police.
Ma'am?
He found me.
2025's Primate. I think this came out like towards the end of 2025. A group of friends' tropical vacation turns into a terrifying primal terror tale of horror and survival. Spoilers, everyone.
1, 2, spoilers coming for you.
So
that log line that you just went over is actually more than what the movie actually is. That leads you to think.
Did you like it though?
I liked it.
Okay, but yeah, there's really not,
it's not.
No, there's no depth to this movie at all.
It's not a vacation either. It's just.
It's not.
It's
they're coming
home.
Like what's her name? Lucy and her friend, Kate. And then Hannah.
Who cares?
Like, I know. I'm just trying to establish this for the audience.
Her good friend that she really loves, another kind of annoying friend, and then you get the kind of the guy that she has a crush on.
Yeah, Nick. And then the dad, and then you have
5 minutes of who the characters are, the setting, but none of that really matters once the movie starts.
It really doesn't. What I liked about this is, okay, like you had mentioned, some of these other movies like the Cujos or whatever, like we could go back and where there's something gets infected or something like that. And this one, I don't know. I don't know what I thought. I didn't really read any reviews on it. I knew what it was about, but I didn't think it would be as dark as it was. I think that's the best way, because the kills are pretty brutal.
They are, yeah.
I did not see that coming. I thought that maybe there'd be a little humor. Maybe it would be kind of, I don't want to say.
There's nothing.
There's
it's just
nothing.
a chimpanzee murdering people for 90 minutes.
For 90 minutes.
There's nothing else.
There's nothing.
Hardly any dialogue. There's no story. There's no character, no plot. It's just, they're there.
They're there.
They're there to get murdered.
I think the most we get is the dad. I think his name is Adam. He's a writer.
It doesn't matter
what
he's
I know, but I'm just trying to establish. I think he has some regret that he doesn't, because he's a popular writer, and he's deaf. So his books, I think, are probably, I don't know if his books are about being deaf or like a deaf theme or a theme, because all of them said silent this and silent that. Like it did. I was waiting to see Silent Rage or something.
Right.
Because if I remember correctly, that was an old Chuck Norris movie.
It was, yeah, where he fights like a bionic man.
Michael Myers type character.
Yeah.
But it was like silent this, and so I don't know if his books are deaf, like that have to. I guess the theme is deaf because he's deaf and can't hear, and it seems like his regret is he's never around. But other than, and I guess it comes in, it doesn't really come into play, really.
Nothing.
He feels guilty for a minute towards the end of the movie, and he decides, hey, let me go check on my 2 daughters that aren't answering their phones.
he only went like 30 minutes away. I thought he was traveling
I thought so
off
too.
the island.
Me too.
It's in Hawaii. That's where they live.
Because he got home fairly quick.
Yeah.
I thought he had he was flying away for business and was going to be back in 3 days. Like, it didn't make sense.
None of the things really matter. So like they set up the fact that this girl has been away for a long time because her mother passed away from cancer like a year ago. Yeah. So she's been off at school and she hasn't been back in like a year. And like her sister has some animosity towards her. Yeah. But once the movie starts, none of that matters because we never come back to anything ever again.
No.
There's never a the mother raised the chimpanzee and she was
was a doctor's or some, I forget what her title
like
was.
A linguist. And taught it to sign language and things like that. And she died of cancer, but none of that ever comes back into play. Like
it really doesn't. Like I thought there would be like you could tell the sister. I think her name is Erin. Yeah, she's definitely like when Lucy gets there, she's mad and upset about her because I don't see you anymore. I thought later on in the movie, after Erin got her damn leg almost ripped off by Ben, the chimp, like, where have you been? I've missed you. You're my sister. You're never like I thought that because we've seen that in so many movies.
Yeah, a moment within the chaos where there's something.
Never any of
Once
that.
the movie starts, there's nothing. There's no conversations between the characters. Really, there's just
there isn't.
It's the movie is interesting for not what it does, but what it doesn't do. And so at any moment when you could have some sort of character arc or character moment or a callback to something that they've set up in the first 5 minutes of the movie or the importance of the setting or anything at all that a normal movie would do, this movie doesn't do anything once it starts.
You're right.
Which is interesting. Right. I'm not faulting it. It seems like that's the intent. They just, once it gets going, it just, all it is a chimpanzee killing people in the most brutal ways.
Brutal. Like, dude.
It's not funny.
No, it's not. Like, I don't remember there being any humor. Like,
except for like the 2 guys they meet on the plane.
But those guys, that wasn't even funny to me.
Yeah,
like, they were just stupid. They were annoying. Like, if there was any humor, it was maybe when that, oh my God, what was his name? It was Hannah, or I'm sorry. It was Nick. when he thinks he's gonna push Ben off of the cliff,
Right.
and then Ben turns it around on him. The dude does a header into the cliff, and Ben starts laughing. But that was creepy. Like, I don't really think there was humor there. Like,
the way they show his body fall, it's not just this guy falls off a cliff and it's splat. It's like a close up of his head smashing headfirst into the rocks, which is
dude, you know what it reminded me of? Now that we're talking about it, okay. Did you ever have that little metal toy as a kid, and it was maybe 2 or 3 inches, and it was shaped almost like it had like a weight to it, and then what you would do you put caps in it, and then you throw it in the air, and the weight of it would come down, and it would hit the tip of it, and the caps would blow. And it would pop. Remember, like we had pop guns.
Yeah, I remember.
Do you
all
remember
the pop
this
stuff.
toy?
I don't remember that.
So
no.
this toy, and I know some of the older audiences listening to this will remember this. Dude, I would say 3 inches, maybe 3 inches, and it was metal. Okay, what you could do is you could open up the tip of it, and the tip was thicker, and you would put caps in it. Remember those little red caps you had as a kid?
Yeah.
You'd put that in there, and then you'd tighten it. You throw it in the air, and the weight of it always would land on it, and it would
explode.
pop.
Yeah.
Him him flying into the cliff or whatever that was, dude. It reminded me of that because when the chimp threw him down, dude, it was straight down, headshot, and he splattered, and that's what it reminded me of. I know I took a while to get there, but dude, they set the tone for this movie as soon as that vet or whatever that guy was went into
It's
his
like a flash
enclosement
forward.
and his fucking face was torn off. I'm like, holy shit. Like, and it didn't take us long at all to get there.
Right, yeah.
Like, dude, that shit was immediate. And I'm like, okay. I like that type. I like when movies get straight to it.
Sure.
You don't, I don't.
They need it. It reminds me of, because again, what's interesting about this movie, it makes me think of this is the way things are going with movies, where TikTok generation, there's less plots, it's just set everything up.
Yeah.
And then you don't have a 3-act structure. You really just set everything up, and it's really just one act in the end. And
I think you're right, man.
But the beginning is like, it's like people don't even have enough attention span to sit through the first 5 to 10 minutes of dialogue or setting it up or exposition.
Up to it,
So you need the stinger, and it reminds me of old episodes, in the 90s where you have a TV show. You have the stinger, which is like what the episode's about, but then you have to have like a commercial, so it's get people hooked. Then the commercial, then they come back, and then you really kind of learn what the episode's about. But that's what it kind of reminds me of. It's like, we need to get people hooked. Okay, sorry, here's like 5 minutes where people have to talk. I know you're on your phone, but hopefully we've hooked you, and then
you're not wrong. I mean, you are definitely right. And what's sad, Scott, is I've started doing that on my phone. Dude, when I'm on Instagram, when I'm like just flipping through, and something kind of starts to pique my interest, and I'm like, you're taking like 15 seconds, I'm going to the next. I hate to even admit that, but that's what's happening. And I think you're right. I think I like the fact that it just went straight to it. I did not see him ripping his friggin' face off.
Yeah.
But it set the tone for the whole movie, though.
Sure.
Because that's what we're getting. Dude, like I said, I didn't think we were going to get these brutal kills. These were brutal.
Yeah. It was brutal, but man, what I kept thinking and going back to was like the real chimp attacks that happen. Have you ever read up on this stuff?
Oh, I haven't read up on it, but I have heard that.
I went down a rabbit hole a few years ago because so when chimpanzees reach a certain age, and it has nothing to do with rabies, they get a lot of them. They have to put them in like these because when they get kind of old, they get almost like a dementia. And some chimpanzees they get really aggressive when they get older.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of instances over the last a while of chimpanzee attacks, especially like you can read about ones in the 80s and 90s, and that's what they do. Like they're 10 times stronger than a person, even though they're little.
Yeah.
And they attack, but they don't. Oftentimes they don't bite. They grab and they pull. They punch and they grab everything they can. So anything that's faces, noses, ears, fingers, genitalia, they rip right off.
Oh my god.
And they just get in these fits, and there's you can read about all the instances, and a lot of people have lived, and some of them are famous because they've had face transplants.
Oh my god.
And these people live with this stuff because people can survive a lot of things. In movies, someone gets something happen and they die. Yeah. But in reality, I was thinking the guy that got his face ripped off, he would probably be alive. Yeah, and he'd have to live with that. The guy that got his lower jaw ripped off, he could live through that. He'd be alive. And I was thinking the whole time that would be even a more frightening movie was if a lot of these people lived and they're just writhing around, and at the end they'd have to just live with this shit because and I don't mean that in a way where I want to see that. I just mean because in reality, like, people do live with this stuff, and it's like, it's horrible. Yeah. I was watching it with my wife, and she had no idea about it. I'm just thinking, like, the people that live through these chimp attacks, like, this is a reality. Like, it's even worse than this movie was for them.
Really?
But it's interesting. Yeah. The amount of chimp attacks that there's been.
I didn't realize, I mean, they're 10 times stronger than a...
Something like that. Yeah, they're a lot stronger than people are. And they're aggressive. And like now in the news, there was a thing about there's a chimp civil war. And like, so like they're studying these chimps, and there's 2 tribes, and it's somewhere, I forgot where it was at, what country it was in, but they're studying these 2 chimp tribes, and it's become this intergenerational war. So it's not just a conflict for right now; it's been going on for like 20 or 30 years. Oh wow! So these chimps are carrying on this conflict against each other. Yeah. What? And it's like the first instance that we've noticed besides people where it's like an intergenerational.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I didn't know that was even a thing.
They're like more aggressive than apes. Apes are gentle.
Wow.
I mean,
I could see that though. I could see that. I mean, you know,
this movie like fed into my
fucking
fears of chimpanzees.
Oh yeah, dude. I would like never, if I was someplace, hey, you want to meet a chimp for $5? No, fuck that, dude.
They're so cute. Like, you know, when they're Curious George.
I think when they're
little,
young.
yeah, and they're trained and they're funny and they do little things people do and they juggle and they do all these things. But when they get bigger and older and they get to their 40s, and because they live almost as long as people do, and they get kind of bigger and they get aggressive and they get stronger as they get older too.
Fuck that, dude. No, I mean, so I didn't know, and again, they said that at the beginning of the movie. I didn't know. What was it? Hydrophobia? So is that? I mean,
I don't know.
So Ben gets bit by a mongoose because the mongoose, I guess, gets into his enclosure. The mongoose has rabies. So, and if it's not treated within 48 hours, there's no going back, and
they die.
You go crazy.
Yeah,
you go crazy, and essentially that's what happened here, right? But what was the water thing? Like, it said something about
they called it.
If they're subject,
was that what it was known?
Yeah, so
like they just thought people went crazy for no reason in the past before they were able to know what science was able to diagnose as rabies. That's what I got from it.
Is that what you got? To me, it sounded like something like if you have rabies and then if you're subjected to water, it freaks. I don't know. It makes you crazy or something like. And again, I'm probably way off on this, but that's what it sounded like to me.
I mean, because at the end it said something like now what we know as rabies. So I just assumed that was like what people thought it was, people going crazy and not, you know. Yeah.
I don't know. The water thing is weird to me. Like, so they get bit, they have rabies, and then if they see water, the water somehow makes them. I don't know, man.
Well, I know chimps can't swim. That was the whole thing of this movie, that they're hiding in the pool.
Yeah. But I mean,
the other things they bring up, which they don't pay off, is so Hawaii doesn't have rabies.
Yeah.
And they mention that Hawaii.
Yeah,
you know, when the veterinarian tells them that the mongoose has rabies. We don't have rabies on the island. Well, we'll test again. Okay. Well, where did that come from? Where did the rabies come from? I don't know. What was the whole deal? They mentioned like feuding with the neighbors. So there
was a feud with the neighbors? Shit, I don't remember.
Yeah, so he mentions he's talking to Ben, and Ben is kind of like in a mood. It's before he sees the mark in the mongoose, and he mentions like, "Are you fighting with the neighbors again?" I was
what was that? Was it like a dog or something? Like, or is it?
Don't know. Yeah. It's something they never go back to again.
Oh, but hold on I wonder, because there is no neighbors. They lived. They were. So is it just the neighbors are just random animals that are out there?
Maybe.
Because dude, they were the only house on this
Right,
cliff.
yeah.
So I think maybe he was joking. Like, what other animals are out there? Did you get into it with them again? And,
Yeah. Right.
you know.
Yeah.
And so yeah. I mean, so Ben goes crazy, man.
It's kind of so in a normal movie where you have a plot and you have dialogue and things like that, you would maybe bring back certain things in a play that this is the family chimpanzee that the mother brought home and loved and have been with them for years. So at some point it would come back in a play where they might want to save or have some sort of conflict where this person that they love is killing people. They can't control it, but they'd still want to save them or something like that.
Sure.
None of that.
Well, okay, hold on. I think I could argue a little bit of that.
Well, it seems like they accept that it's not him anymore, and then that's it.
But there was the one scene where Lucy felt, I think it was where, I think it was inside the house, and he was right next to her, and she was on the ground, and then he reached his hand out to like kind of grab her hand, to hold her hand. And for a second, she felt something, and then he looked like he almost tried to break her wrist.
Yeah,
remember that part?
He did break. Yeah, he did. He smashed her
He
hand.
smashed it, but I mean, I don't think he broke anything because
he bent it.
He bent it back,
backwards.
but she seemed fine later on in the movie.
They don't want to address anything.
But I mean,
she also got her shit beat out of her, and
for sure.
she was fine.
But yeah, no, I mean, I think that there was a little bit of that, but not enough. Like
there was
for
never
us
a
to
moment
go.
where like she had an opportunity to kill him and decided not to, or if there was any sort of conflict.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a normal movie might have, like a movie,
Definitely
would bring certain things in. That's why I said I think it's interesting for all the moments that I think a movie would do something with the things that they bring up.
Yeah.
Then they just don't want to do it. And I don't know if that's a total intention. If that was,
I bet you it was a little
Or
what
if
you
it's
said.
just
Let's get in and out. It's a crisp 90 minutes, which I'm fine with. I love a 90-minute horror movie, because if you're doing it right, you can still keep me entertained. You can still throw all the stuff in that you want to do. I didn't feel like you said, there is no depth to this. There's not a lot of backstory. There's not a lot of those moments you're talking about. It didn't really bother me.
it didn't either, because at the end of the day,
think-
you're watching
A killer-
You're getting what you paid for, which is
A killer chimpanzee.
yeah. And it makes it even more terrifying that it's real. It's a person in a costume. It's not CGI.
Yeah.
And that made it crazy. Like
It made it a little more unsettling for me.
he's wearing a mask.
A mask and
shadows.
Yeah.
And it looks real. And
It,
that's the kind of the part where CGI ruins things in movies.
for sure.
When something's supposed to be scary and it just looks goofy.
It and they can never. I would think in 2026 they would get better at CGI where like animals or stuff look like that. Yeah. I have never seen a movie that has, let's throw out a lion, for instance. They just constantly fuck it up. It looks awful, dude.
Yeah.
I have never seen one movie, and there's been plenty of movies where they CGI a lion or something, a tiger, something. It just looks terrible.
Yeah. Right.
And
or like The Revenant with did you ever see The Revenant?
I have not with DiCaprio. I have not. I heard it's good.
Well, it's like it's a CGI bear that attacks him.
Yeah.
But it's so obvious because they're showing the entire bear. It's like that's the problem when they get into when they do CGIs, because we can just show the whole thing instead of little snippets and things. Well, that's obviously a big CGI bear, and then it kind of takes you out of the moment.
I agree with you, and you don't need that. You can still use some CGI here and there, but you can still use practical.
It's the same thing with practical. You don't show everything because you can't.
Exactly.
CGI, like you don't show everything because you shouldn't.
Yes, I agree, man, and I don't know what it is, man. I think you and I have had this discussion before. I don't know. Is it just laziness? Is it money? Is it time? I don't know what it is. And it frustrates me because we grew up on practical effects, and they're just so much cooler, man.
Right, yeah.
They're so much cooler than the CGI shit. Like when the dude's jaw is being ripped off.
Oh, man.
Like that looked fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like that, it was gnarly, and we know it's coming, but it looked cool, dude. And I've seen
that's happened in like Day of the Dead. You get a zombie walking around with the lower jaw missing and his tongue hanging out.
There's in the movie Dolly, Morris and I went and saw this a month or two ago, and what's his name? Sean, is that his name? Sean Williams, the guy from American Pie.
Oh, yeah, Sean Williams.
I always get his name.
Yeah.
He's in this movie, and it's a lower budget horror movie. But there's this, and I guess spoiler, but there's a scene where the killer rips his fucking his jaw gets. I don't think it's ripped off. I think it's actually taken off by a shovel. But it looks dude. It's practical and it looks gnarly, but it's cool, dude.
Yeah,
like you can still do this. They did it in oh Jesus, what's that movie? Damn, I can't even think of it right now. But and Morris and I watched it, and it was and everyone will know by it's called the yoga kill, and the effect in this is done so well. Something. Damn, I can't even think. I'm drawing a blank right now on it. But the kill is done so well, and it's all practical. And I'm like, and it's gnarly, but you have to appreciate it because it's really cool, dude.
Yeah.
And I've seen so many horror movies that most of the kills anymore, they just bore me. And I'm like, okay, that's not original.
Right.
This was original. And you're like, you have to like almost applaud that.
Right.
You know? And so there is a place for practical. So do it.
Yeah.
So do it. And if there's, I don't know, is there not enough people out there that can do it? If not, then that's a shame.
It seems like that's what people are clamoring for all the time. But I think at the end of the day, like when it's people that really watch movies, they want this. But you know, the average person, the average young person now, do they care about this stuff
Probably
anymore?
not. And they honestly,
not
Scott,
enough.
they don't know the difference.
Yeah.
They probably don't know the difference because they've grown up with CGI.
I mean, it's the same thing with, so I don't know. It's just where people are at. I don't know if you watch Stranger Things, but the last season.
I watched season 1 and that was plenty for me. I didn't care about the rest of it. I just stopped.
With the last season, it's become a thing now. So executives are so aware that people are on their phones and not caring about certain things that they actually had to constantly restate the plot of the story so far. So they get into these constant exposition dumps. Just
after season 5 or 6 or whatever it was.
So
like
in the last season, every episode had an exposition dump on where they were at because they know people aren't paying attention.
Oh my God, that's sad.
So they're kowtowing to that kind of mindset. So it's like they know people don't care. Well, they kind of need to know what the story is. Let's just keep doing this. And it got in a way of like the show. So I mean, if they know people don't really care at the end of the day about CGI versus practical, are they going to? Oh, they're just gonna be like, no, it's easier. It's easier to do it this way.
Yeah, and that's probably what's happening. That's probably what's happening. Like, we grew up on the practical, and we like the practical. We just think it looks better. The CGI just looks so. I will say this: at times, the CGI doesn't look terrible. Like there are some instances where I see something, I'm like, okay, they did that pretty well.
Did you see the last Planet of the Apes movie?
I did not.
Oh my God, that's one of the most amazing things I've ever seen.
And is that CGI?
Yeah. So but the difference is, so like Avatar is all CGI. It's real actors with mocap.
Yeah.
And they're reenacting the scenes, but everything behind them is all, it's in a warehouse. So it's all CGI.
Yeah.
The difference between that and the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, where it's also actors and mocap, where they're being replaced digitally, but it's a real performance, but they actually shot it on real sets or on location. So it's like, it's continuing that movie magic of some realness, but you know, with like, in the CGI, it looks so good, but it makes it even better because you have a real setting, real lighting, you know, man, it's just that difference is what makes the kind of, that leap there.
And I don't know, is it a money thing? I don't know. I mean, you know, with horror movies, as we know,
logistically
they crank these out. They crank these out fast. They crank them out on smaller budgets because, you know, their idea is we got to make money, and they typically do with these horror movies. You know,
it's a tight budget. It's a tight timeline.
Yeah.
When you want to have a director actually, you know, when you're faced with the idea of just someone doing it in post versus the director and a special effects supervisor sitting down and trying to figure out, how do we do this? Like, okay, let's do this. Like, it's just easier, I think, that's what they think.
Well, you know what?
To do it in post?
I would say you got to give it to like, because like, and especially if you went back to say like the 80s. I mean, these horror movies are done on shoestring budgets, right?
Yeah.
The directors had to get super creative, and then I think
I was like,
it
innovative
allowed,
stuff.
yes,
Like
man.
Tom Savini using condoms as
Yes,
you
that's
know,
exactly
blood
what I was going to
splatters.
say, dude. Like, Tom Savini doing his thing. And so it's like they have to almost think outside the box. And during that process, they're creating these new things. And it's like pretty freaking cool, dude.
And they were all trying to save money. It's not like they had
Yeah.
limited budgets to do the thing. When you
Yeah.
have those guys, Rob Bottin, and, trying to figure out how do we do this?
Yeah.
Like, why can't still
You can still do
are
that.
those guys there's just far and few between
I think so.
Yeah.
Which is a shame. It's a shame because there's more of a demand for people that do CGI than practical? Probably.
Yeah.
There probably is, man. I mean, and that sucks.
Yeah.
I would love to learn, like, if I had like free time to learn practical from someone who like a Tom Savini or whoever else, like Rob
have all these
Bottin, like
proprietary secrets, that
They
they
do.
hand down to their people that work with them.
Yeah.
It's so much more magical that that they did that rather than some people just
Some
sitting
computer
around.
thing,
it's just
yeah.
like, click.
And I'm not saying there's not some sort of look. You have to have a skill, and there is some art to that. I'm not disputing that, but
That's when it becomes a fallback to just do things because
For sure.
it's the easiest way to do it.
Yeah.
or the quickest way.
But I love, man, like Hatchet, for instance. Like, I loved that because, and I'm sure that was a super low budget, but the practical effects on it were so friggin' cool, dude.
You're
Like,
not
movies-
talking about the '80s Hatchet with
No, the one with
kid
it's
from Honey I Shrunk the Kid that gets
No,
stuck out in the
no.
wilderness.
no Hatchet. This one came out.
I think
you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. And they did a few sequels. I don't know how many sequels it spawned, like 2 or 3 or something like that. And I just really enjoyed the first one. It doesn't mean the other ones weren't. They're okay. But the first one just had this different feel to it, and the practical. I think there was a jaw-ripping scene in that one.
Oh man!
And it's done really friggin' well, dude. And I love stuff like that. Kane Hodder, I think Kane Hodder's in it, so he plays I think Kane Hodder is actually the character of I'm drawing a blank too. This is what happens when you get old. But there are still movies out there that are doing practical effects.
Yeah,
They're still doing them.
And that's what I appreciated, that there was a real person in it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm assuming it's a little person.
I would assume so. I can't imagine you're having a kid doing this.
Right. But they took the time to learn how a chimpanzee would move and would act. And
For sure.
I think that's really awesome. And like as the movie goes along, he gets more and more disheveled. And his face gets like
more evil looking. There were times where it looked like he was foaming or
He was.
But then other
definitely foaming
times,
at the mouth.
then a minute later, it was gone, and I'm like, well, I wanted him to
a little bit inconsistent, maybe
a little inconsistent. What I think I would have liked is I wanted him to look more rabid.
Yeah.
More rabid.
At times it did feel like that.
It did, but then it didn't.
Sometimes, yeah.
And so I'm like, well, but as the time went on, wouldn't he become more rabid?
Yeah.
And more just
or
gnarly looking,
or
like,
his aggression would maybe get worse. I don't know how rabies works,
so.
but I mean
I
that
don't
works
either.
better for a movie if he's just kind of aggressive and then it gets just worse and worse and the things he does to people get worse and worse and worse. And this it just kind of starts.
It starts. I mean, the one friend who got it on the stairs with the rock, that was fucked up.
Yeah, that was a good one.
The one, the jaw guy, he was annoying, so I didn't mind him dying. The one dude, his friend, we didn't get to see that. Like I felt like we were kind of like
got cheated out of
we
that.
got cheated on that one. Like there was a shovel. So like what
I
happened?
expected there to be a shot of a person on the ground and just some
pieces
spot where
yeah. And then the one girl, Hannah, I think she went into the car. She went in the wrong car, and then Ben got in there and just obliterated her.
Yeah, I didn't
You
really
know?
you didn't really see anything in that one though.
You saw some you could tell it was some intestines and stuff, but to me, it's like I think they do this on purpose because I don't know, was this PG-13 or was this rated R?
Oh, this is
Rated
this
R?
is like a hard R.
So if you add more kills, then maybe what does it become, NC-17, and they have to is it?
I don't think so. These
No?
day and age, nah, we're past that. I think you can get
I
it
don't
as
know.
violence. I think you can get as violent as possible and still
Can you?
maintain an R
Yeah.
rating.
And
It's
again,
not the 80s where RoboCop almost
yeah.
got an NC-17.
Yeah.
I think you can pretty much, as violent wise, where this is America,
I
you can get as
yeah.
violent as you want, and
Yeah.
And
You think?
still, yeah.
I still feel like there are some where they go, no, that's too much.
anymore, I don't know.
I mean, it was. I know this was a thing with Kill Bill. The reason he
so
he
long
switched
ago
it,
though. I think he would get away with that today. There's no
You
question
think?
about it. He did. They put it in theaters. They
Oh, that's true.
re-edited
The
Kill Bill, and they put the color back into that scene.
You know what? You are right. Yeah, I
Because
still haven't seen that
standards are
version. I
different.
want to watch that. Well, the whole bloody affair.
Yeah,
the whole
yeah,
bloody
yeah,
affair.
yeah.
I want to check that out.
So things are different.
Yeah, I
think
guess
you
you're
can
right.
Pretty much get
I guess you're right.
away with anything
Yeah.
violence-wise.
I mean, the I'm trying to think. I mean, do we what I'm trying to think of some of the kills that we may have missed. I mean, the dad comes back from his book signing and he's deaf. And so
That was a really cool scene. So
It
that's,
was.
That's the one thing I really liked, and I know the deaf thing finally pays off.
Yeah.
Because when you have a scene where, I think again, like this, a lot of stuff in this movie, it could have led to something even better, where someone like the girl that's the friend that's really close to them,
Yeah.
she gets maybe murdered.
Kate,
at the,
I think it's Kate.
Yeah, where he can't, and he's like in the next room or something. I think that would have been
Oh,
great.
yeah.
if someone's just getting murdered,
And it's
has
happening
no
and you can't
idea.
hear it. Yeah. Because he gets home and you thinking, it's just a party, and he's kind of pissed and he sees leftover pizza and then
And it doesn't seem so that concerned that his daughter's not answering because I know you're a parent. Your kids aren't answering and someone tells
Oh,
you that
hell
your
no.
chimpanzee has rabies. I'd be running around just frantically looking.
Yes.
I mean, any little thing happens and you're running around frantically for your kids.
Definitely, definitely. And so, I don't know.
Maybe the director's not a parent.
I don't know. I was looking at this director. I think this director did like 47, and I haven't seen 47 meters down. And I think
The only thing I've seen that this director did was
Resident Evil.
Which
Resident Evil did he do?
so
Because there's like a million of them.
there's like a bunch of versions of Resident Evil. There was like the Paul Anderson films that he
Okay.
did like 6 or 7 of those with his wife Mila Jovovich,
Oh, okay.
and those are fucking terrible.
Yeah.
And then there's the Netflix show that they did. They did a
Oh,
Netflix
okay.
show, which is fucking terrible. And then this is like a standalone where they tried to take the first 2 games, which I don't know if you ever played Resident Evil.
Never
but
did. No.
They're fantastic games, but
Yeah.
they're from the 90s, the mid 90s. They're hard to play now.
Yeah.
But they tried to take the first 2 games and put it into one movie, and it was like,
okay.
it's the best Resident Evil thing
Oh.
I've ever seen, but that is a really, really low bar. That's like So it's not great. It's not even good, but I would watch it again because it's like it's the best. I love Resident Evil. I grew up playing those games, and
I get it.
It's like the best. That's the best we got.
Yeah, I know there's. The other one's coming out. I think. People are. I see, and again, I don't know any difference or better because I didn't play the game. To me, I just take it as okay. Is the movie itself okay? I don't care if it follows a video game or not. It's just, am I entertained? The new trailers look like it's pissed off a lot of people.
Well, but why call it Resident Evil if it's just a story that you created and you're just going to put the
I don't
Resident
know.
Evil name on it?
I don't know.
Because all the interviews, and I like that director because he did Barbarian and Weapons.
Oh, Weapons, yeah.
I love those 2 movies, but it just seems like he has his own story and he's telling it, and it has nothing to do with the games. The games have a lot to do with like corporate.
Yeah, I remember that from
it's
the first-
pharmaceutical companies creating bioweapons, and it's a zombie thing. It's a zombie outbreak, but it's created by an evil corporation, and then you have cops and getting involved, and that's kind of Resident Evil. That's what it should kind of feel like.
I mean, I saw the first movie years ago, and it felt like that. What you're explaining, it felt like that a little bit. But
the first Paul
the
Anderson movie. Yeah,
but then
right.
this trailer from what I saw didn't feel like that at all.
It didn't. No.
But maybe it was simply just maybe it's to capture the other audience that didn't play the game, and then if you did like the game, you'll go see it, and then maybe in the movie it's going to be more of what you're talking about. I don't know. I don't know.
I think he got an opportunity to make another movie of ideas he already had.
Probably.
And
that's the thing with some of these directors, that they do these things that I like, right? And then they get they get some more money. They get a bigger, film. And then I'm like, And again, I'm not going to use the word sellout. I'm not going to use that.
No, I don't.
I don't think they're sellouts. I just,
Always.
because
Stuff, that's a job, though.
It is a job.
Not every director can be an auteur or has that.
You can't.
It's really because a lot of them do commercials. That's a job. That's
exactly.
Their job is just to go and do that.
Yeah. And if I was in their shoes, I'd probably take more money to do a film and and some other some maybe more mainstream movie, but. You
gotta work.
You gotta work, man.
Yeah.
I mean, because if not, then you're not going to get the next gig, and
right,
then people forget about you because it's Hollywood, and they will forget about you. So
I get kind of miffed when people don't have to do those things.
Yeah.
Like if you're in the game and you kind of have to do those things because you really need, it's just that's the only thing coming. Like I totally get it, but sometimes when they don't have to do these things and they do them, I'm like, what did you?
Yeah, I agree with that.
And I see so many like actors and actresses right now just hawking shit on, trying to. Now there's ads in streaming now, and it's really annoying. But half the ads are pharmaceutical ads, and then out of all those, now they get so many stars in them.
Yeah,
and it's just like, dude.
Well, I think it's funny that you get these actors that. They're all about the craft, and I would never do a commercial, and then they do a commercial and say like Japan or some other country that we don't think we're gonna.
Oh, right. Well, they've been doing that. They were doing that in the '90s. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Nick Cage have famous Japanese ones.
Sure,
but they're fun. Yeah. They're hilarious.
Some of them are kind of. So, what's funny is when you mention, I was watching something recently, and it was on one of the streaming services, and these commercials came up. I'd never seen them before, and they were weird. And it had like actors in them. I'm like, huh? Like you're doing this commercial, but it was on. I wish I could tell you what it was, dude. But it was strange. It felt very uncomfortable. like where is this commercial from, and why did they decide to do it? And is it just to grab some money? And a lot of people are like that. It's all about it's a money grab. I just don't come out and say you would never do that, or it's about the art, and then you go and do it. Don't do that.
Right. Why does Ben Affleck does he really like Dunkin' Donuts that much? He doesn't need the money.
He doesn't need the money.
Why would he?
I mean, he is from Boston. Is
it funny?
I didn't find him that funny. Like, I don't know what
Matt
that
Damon,
is.
why would you need to be in a crypto commercial?
Well,
like
that's
the stuff that bothers me.
And then all the people lost money because of it.
Yeah.
I have a problem
with
then
the pharmaceutical stuff, which is a big issue in this country with pharmaceutical companies and what they're shoving down our throats. And then you get these people in all these commercials. Like, if you're going to do a commercial, make it fun, I don't know, try to pick something that at least we get it. Like Willie Nelson doing the Taco Bell commercial in the 90s. I totally get it.
Sure,
you need the money. Yeah. Like, it's obvious, but it's Taco Bell. It's not.
Yeah, it's no, for sure.
It's harmless.
Most of them are hypocrites, right? Like, I don't have a problem with it if you never came out and almost talk down to people and all this shit, and then you go and do this. If you never did it and you did it, that's fine. I don't have a problem with it. But don't be. They're fucking constantly hypocrites, dude.
Yeah.
Constant fucking hypocrites. They come out and they talk about the wars and all this other shit,
right?
And then it's like you're doing movie about war. Don't give me that shit. Don't sit there and say that you have a problem with all the stuff that's happening. Okay, that's a lot of us do, man. But then don't go turn around and do a fucking movie. It's about the same thing, like where you're killing people and it's shit like that bothers me, man.
Yeah, that's why it's kind of it was kind of better not knowing what someone's political,
Dude,
thing.
I think Billy Bob Thornton, who I love as an actor, came out and he's like, I'm not going to talk about this because I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and tell you all this stuff. He goes, I'm not versed in this. I don't know all this stuff. I would rather that answer. I respect that answer.
Yeah, right.
You know? Except and all these other friggin' actors that, I drive an electric car because of this and all this other bullshit. And I'm like, shut
but I also
the
ride
fuck
a private
up.
plane.
Yeah, exactly. That burns all this fuel. It's like, shut the fuck up, dude. I just, it's already, what makes me mad, you know what? Hold on a second. I'm going to do this. Random rant. I haven't used that in a long time. You know what makes me mad is these cocksuckers, actors, and all this other shit. They talk about all this stuff while they have millions and millions of dollars and people worship them and all this bullshit, and I just and then they have all these award shows where, hey, look at me, I'm fucking awesome. How many fucking award shows do you need? You already get recognized everywhere. You get free shit all the time. You make millions upon millions of dollars. And some people fucking worship the ground you walk on. It's like, and then you have to have all these award shows. Like, how many fucking award shows do you need?
Yeah.
That says, oh, I'm great. I'm like, why?
I think over time, the perception of these awards as like, and I'm not lumping the actors and actresses in with the category because I know they're not billionaires, but as there's been like this larger gap between wealthy and working class people, I think the perception of these award shows have gotten more pretentious, and like average people are now just like, what the fuck?
Yes. Yes.
Like, things kind of suck. Why are you pretending that it doesn't suck? So it's just, if you're going to have the award shows, I think the consensus now is like, entertain me. Just fucking entertain me, because I don't want to be hit over the head with kind of a combative ideology. That's your opinion. Like, it's great that you have it, but it's almost combative now, where it's just like, you have to believe this thing. I'm not entertaining you anymore. I'm just like throwing it at your face. Yeah. And so I think as things have like changed and we've gotten more polarized and this, I don't want to get too political, but the wealth gap has just gotten super huge. And people, the perspective is like, well, these things aren't as entertaining anymore. The Oscars aren't as entertaining. It's a bunch of people just congratulating themselves and like trying to get their specific viewpoint across. But
see, Scott, that's my point exactly, is you sit here and you accept an award for best whatever, okay? When you're looking out in the audience and all it is just pompous fucking millionaires, okay?
Same other.
And you're sitting there and you're talking about whatever it is, the war, or Trump, or whatever the hell it is you're talking about. But you're at a fucking award show where you're being glamorized for this. Okay, you can act. That's great. You can direct. You have great whatever. You're a great composer, but you're accepting an award in front of all these filthy rich cocksuckers. And so what you're saying, it falls on deaf ears to me.
It doesn't really
Look, I
matter.
don't watch these shows, okay? But I'm sure there's people out there that do.
Interesting.
But you're a fucking hypocrite, because you're sitting here during the ceremony and you're talking about all these bad things that are happening, but here you are, all dressed up.
Yeah.
People are taking pictures of you on a red carpet and you're getting applauded and all this shit. It doesn't make sense.
There's a disconnect.
There is a disconnect. And it
used to be magical, and we used to kind of enjoy that stuff, the glitz and the glamour, because it's almost like a make-believe,
Sure.
Because the movies were magical.
Yes,
and so
they're
of course
not like
the
that.
award shows now it's
not like that. I would rather you go up there, think a few people and leave. Don't give me a bullshit speech about this, because you're just a fucking hypocrite.
Yeah.
That's all you are.
Or an inspirational speech. I miss when they would really
Sure.
give something inspirational about, and not just thanking their parents or whatever, but when it was about all the hardworking people that were working on these movies, or how someone else told them something that really inspired them.
Sure.
I kind of miss those types of things, or just something real.
I don't know what I don't see that anymore.
Russell Crowe getting up there, when he got his Not totally deserved best actor award.
Was it for Gladiator? Yeah.
But
yeah.
I mean, it's you get up there, you enjoy that kind of stuff. But now there's so much of a disconnect.
And there's just so many of them, and I'm just like, oh my God, how many do we have to like? Again, I don't watch them, but I have to see clips of them on Instagram or whatever the hell it is, and then I got to turn around and watch them say something political when they're ignorant. Like I don't say anything about politics or religion because I'm ignorant to the both of them. I don't want to pretend like I know about either of them. I'm not.
Yeah.
But it bothers me. It's just stay in your fucking lane. Okay? You're an actor. Okay? And I'm sure you're a great actor. But keep it about that or if you're going to be political, then just do fucking that.
Yeah.
Don't come to an award show where people can, they all over you and take pictures of you and you're making millions of dollars, but you're sitting here, talking about the grind. What fucking grind are you talking about, dude? Walk a few miles in my shoes and then talk to me about it. Give me a fucking break, dude. And I don't have it bad. Like, I'm just an average Joe. That's all I fucking am.
But you can see that people do have it bad. And so
yes. I see people have far worse than I do. And it's like, and then you have all this money and all this. But really, do you really donate? Do you really do anything that really helps? Like, come on, Yeah. Anyways, I don't know how we got on that, but I haven't used the rant button in a while, and it just felt warranted.
It's inside, it's bubbling up.
It was bothering me because something popped up recently on a friggin' thing, and I'm like, are you fucking serious? Like. Anyways,
none of those things have anything to do with Primate.
It doesn't, but you know what? There was some reason I think we were talking about practical effects and we got on that. Sorry, we got off a topic, but Primate, dude, I enjoyed this movie. I felt bad for Ben, when he finally.
I did. I kind of wanted an ending where he lived. And maybe not everybody died, but they all had to live with the shit that he did.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't really control it. And there's a lot of things I would, if you wanted to actually make a movie with plot points and dialogue and things like that.
Yeah.
There were things I would definitely change. But again, at the end of the day, I was entertained and terrified by the.
I mean, I tell you what I did like. I liked the trope. The killer, no matter if it's a human being or a chimpanzee, is never really dead, right?
Right, yeah.
Because we thought he was dead, and then he gets up and and then she throws him off the balcony, and he gets impaled. And,
what a crappy way to go, though, too, because it's another thing that doesn't pay off, the water thing. Yeah. So they're hiding on the inflatable most of the movie in the pool because chimps can't swim and he'll drown. And they try to get it in at some point. They try to put a rope around him and pull him into the water to end it. So at the end of the movie, though, he falls off the balcony, which the pool is right there, but he gets impaled.
Yeah.
Why not use that opportunity to put him in the pool?
And he drowns.
Yeah.
He just freaks out and drowns.
Yeah.
Or I thought about that too.
I thought of another thing where someone actually gets a call out to the cops, and at the end, cops and animal control come, and they don't know what's happened, and they put a tranquilizer in him instead of killing him. And so he lives. They're able to treat him. You're not going to put a monkey in jail. He's going to go to a place where he's going to probably not going to be in a population anymore. He'll be in one of those chimp reserves.
Yeah.
But still, and then all these people have to live with that. That's more terrifying to me.
Yeah. But because we don't know enough about rabies, is it not even a thing? Because it said.
People die within 48 hours if you don't treat it, but you can treat it.
So was it within that 48-hour time frame where he could have, No, but remember, it said 36 hours earlier or something like that. So I think it was around that time frame. So it could have been where there was no coming back, and then it didn't make sense for him to. I mean, he wouldn't have had a life. He would have just. I don't even know what life it would have been if you have rabies, full-blown rabies at 48 hours and your brain is mush. I don't even know.
I think if it's treatable, it's treatable. I think that's...
And that's the thing. Right? I don't know enough about it. But, I mean, I felt like it was I knew at some point that piece of that wood was going to come back into play.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've seen so many of these. It's like that someone's going to get impaled on that.
Yeah.
I didn't think it would be Ben. I thought maybe it would be like somebody else, you know?
Yeah.
And, but I mean, yeah. So the dad, Lucy, and the sister survive and everyone else dies.
Right.
You know, I thought too, like there would be more of a, we're glad you're here. Like it was a little bit of that, like, you know, like I could tell the dude has probably never been around because he's busy writing his books and traveling and stuff. And, you know, like maybe there'd be more of something like that. He does say something, but it wasn't like a big, it's essentially what you've been saying, right? They touch on it just a little bit, but there's no depth to it. There's no substance here.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
but
again,
he wasn't an asshole because like you expected another movie him to be sort of that way. But I think because he's a deaf actor, they don't want to. Yeah, I really do think you don't want to go down that road when you have a person with a disability in a movie.
For sure.
You probably don't want to portray them as a deaf asshole. It's so he was a really nice guy.
He seemed like a nice guy.
He just wasn't around a lot.
Yeah. The fine line that they cross, you know, there, and so
we didn't really get a sense of though that he wasn't around that much because again he goes and he's just like at like a book signing.
This
is like a Barnes and Noble down the street.
Yeah, that's what I guess what it felt like, right? Yeah, and so. But I mean, I the thing is this: going into this, I didn't know. I knew the premise, right? Chimpanzee goes crazy and kills people. I did not think it'd be this dark, which I did enjoy it. I really liked this movie. I loved the kills. I know we're talking about the backstories and the characters. Some movies you just don't need it. I didn't feel it was necessary here. I don't think it was really going to change a lot. I was fine.
I felt like
in and out 90 minutes. I'm always down for that. I enjoyed this. I would watch this again. Like what's crazy about this, Scott, is this movie had a slasher feel to it with a monkey, with a chimpanzee.
Yeah, because it wasn't just an animal attack. He was sort of.
Dude, it was suspenseful. He was plotting.
He could also do sign language, so it's not just an animal.
Yeah.
He's kind of methodical about the kills, obviously.
Yeah,
and also like choosing. He's sitting above the guy that he ends up ripping.
Yeah,
he's like thinking about all the. Well, what could I do? It's not
what
like he just attacks him.
Yeah.
It's just a very slow, like, all right, I'm gonna.
I'm just gonna rip your jaw off. Yeah,
really slowly.
I like that little. Screen that he can communicate with, Bad Lucy or Lucy Bad, whatever. Little parts of that. I kind of liked that.
It reminded me of Congo.
Yeah.
Bad. What does she keep saying? She calls them bad apes or whatever.
I haven't seen Congo.
Amy
forever.
Want food. Amy hungry. She's outfitted with the sign language verbal device. So every time she signs it.
I haven't seen a movie in a long time. Probably when it came out. That's probably the last time I've seen it.
The king of apes attacking people.
I like the fact that this movie was mainly at night, right? Most of it was at night. So I like that aspect of it. I always like when a movie is when it's kind of isolated to a night, like one night or part of a night or it's isolated to the house. I like that, so I mean, I really liked this movie. I didn't have really a lot of complaints with it. I mean, I took it for what it was, man.
Yeah, I think there's two versions of this movie. I think there's a version where you set everything up and then you do all the things that you would in a typical story, in a typical 3-act structure, and characters and dialogue and have moments and all those things and callbacks to certain things that you introduce, and the ending's different. And then there's we're not going to do any of that.
Yeah.
We're just going to have a chimpanzee kill people.
Yeah. Which I think
I think they both work. I think there's again
they did work because I still was entertained.
I was entertained. I don't know if I'd watch it again. That's the other thing.
I think I would definitely watch it again.
Because it did. I just feel like I'm watching murder porn almost at some point.
I didn't feel that way. I felt, again, like I said a few minutes ago, it felt like a slasher movie, but with a chimpanzee.
Yeah.
And I like slasher movies because there's no substance to a slasher. There's no fuck. There's barely a story in a
Right,
slasher. The only thing that this was missing was nudity. If you really want to go
Right,
true
yeah.
80s slasher,
Maybe that's the thing. Maybe they took a template from a slasher. It kind of seems like it.
Could
yeah.
have. Yeah. I mean,
You have a quick setup. The dialogue doesn't really matter.
doesn't
the names
fucking-
don't really matter.
doesn't matter, dude.
And then he spends the rest of the movie just murdering people.
murder people. You want some cool, interesting kills, and that's what
Yeah.
we got here. Other than some nudity, which that I don't know what you said. This was probably rated R. You know,
I don't know how you wouldn't think that movie is rated R.
I know. I don't know why I didn't
Why
either.
would-
I don't know why I didn't either. I'll be honest with you. This was definitely rated R. But I mean, the only thing the 80s, the slashers, they threw in just boobies and nudity and it was never really necessary, you know, but this probably just wouldn't have fit. And that's really the only difference. But I still like this. I would absolutely tell people, go check this shit out, man. If you're interested in a chimpanzee killing people brutally, go for it.
Yeah.
You know? The music. The music, dude, did music not have like a John Carpenter feel to it? Dude, I watched this last night.
Think so.
Oh.
I thought
dude,
there was synthesizers, but it was like
it felt,
it was more like a DJ Island synthesizers
really?
than like a John Carpenter.
I felt at times it was John Carpenter-ish with the synth. And it really kind of set the tone for the movie. And I liked it. It
was synth, but John Carpenter stuff is really simple.
I think some of this was
thing.
like that. I felt like this
Yeah.
was kind of like that. You know,
I was-
not all the way through the movie.
Yeah,
but
there were some points where I was like watching. I was like, "This is music. Is what is this with this?"
But just see, Scott, I love fucking synthesizers.
Oh, I have
dude.
synthesizers. I mean,
dude, I love it. I love.
But the type of music from the synthesizers to me didn't remind me of Carpenter.
It
at
didn't?
all. No, Carpenter is very atmospheric. This was not. It
you
was
didn't
like
feel that way. I felt there
it
were
was
a
like-
few scenes that were like that.
islandy. It was more apparent. It was like
Oh, really?
yeah.
No, I mean, there was that, but there were a few scenes where it slowed down the pace, and it felt to me a little bit like John Carpenter. And maybe that was just the synth part of it. Maybe that's what I was, you know.
Just recognizing this.
Yeah, you know. But anyways, that's Primate, y'all. Sorry for ranting for a little bit, but that's okay.
Primate, all the kills and no boobies.
All the kills with no boobies. The slasher. I don't even know.
Curious George with rabies is what.
Curious George with
I'm calling this
rabies, no
movie.
boobies. Yeah. Anyways, that's it. I would, like I said, people check it out. I think people would like this.
I think it's
I
definitely
think-
worth checking
yeah,
out.
I
It's
think it
just,
is.
If you're afraid of chimpanzees, because you've read what I've read, then you might not want to watch the movie.
Yeah, probably not. But
But if you're, don't expect anything more than.
no, but I think if you go into it that way, you're entertained.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't think if I
was
went
thoroughly
into the theater and watched this, which I did not and paid, I would have left going, yeah,
I think
let's
so.
go. Yeah.
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 It was worth my time.
and that was worth my time. So that's Primate, everyone. Hey, thanks for coming out, Scott. Appreciate it. Everyone, take care. Bye-bye. You listened all the way to the end. We appreciate that. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Ear for Fear Podcast, Twitter at Ear for Fear, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Ear for Fear Podcast. You can also check out our website, earforfear.com. There we list news and events. We're available on all the main platforms, so make sure you tell a friend. We hope you come back and get an earful.